Hello and welcome to our post-match show after a disappointing defeat at Barnsley. To talk us through it, obviously not the result we wanted, but we've got Andy Booth and John Worthington, both Huddersfield Town legends. Boothy, like we said, not the result we wanted. It was a bit of a sucker punch, wasn't it, at the end?
Yeah, disappointed, Adam. Yeah, obviously it looked like it were going to end up in a draw, and I think, to be honest, that was a fair result, and I think both teams would have taken that. Both teams would have been happy, and yeah, as you say, a massive sucker blow right at the very end. But I've got to admit, over the match, I was always worried about a defending set piece. I thought we struggled, especially with the ball coming up in the air, and as we saw there, a long throw, great flick on. And the lads just got, obviously, his toe to it to finish it off. So very disappointing, and we didn't deserve it. We'd have deserved a point, and we'd have been happy, obviously, coming home and then going on to Blackburn game in a few days' time with a point behind us. So lads will be disappointed. It'll take them some time to get picked up, because it is, when you lose in that manner, last kick of the game practically, it does hurt, and it takes a few days to get over it.
Yeah, Worthy, it was, like Boothie said, completely undeserved, wasn't it? The game overall, the balance of it, it had a point really written all over it for both teams, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think the whole 90 minutes, it was a real hard fought derby. I think Barnsley were, direct, like Boothie said. I think in terms of aerials into the ball, it was steps or direct to get the ball in early. You always worried in the back of might nick one later on. But I think, like, balance of play, I think it would have been definitely a result.
Yeah, and Boothie, obviously the goal, you touched upon the second. The first was very similar as well, which I suppose makes it even more disappointing.
Yeah, I think Carlos is not, and the coaching staff are not going to be happy on the two goals, two set pieces, and it just felt, especially the first goal as well, we were just like a bit out muscled. A long ball to the back stick, the lads got a couple of yards off Lewis O'Brien and headed it back into the danger area, and I thought Ryan had a fantastic game. I just think he might have been a bit stronger. You've got to get some onto it. You've got to get a punch away there, and he looked just to get a little bit bullied. But there were 2 or 3 men around him, so I've probably been a little bit harsh on him, because I said he did have a good game. But yeah, the ball's coming in, and then we've just got to be stronger. You've just got to win that. If you're not going to win the first ball, you're going to got to win the second ball, or you win the third ball. And the first goal, the third ball, that obviously put the ball in the net. The second goal was the second ball. So you've got to defend them. If you can't win the first header, you definitely defend the second and third. So I'm sure Carlos and the coaching staff won't be very happy, because on the other side, it looked like we'd done a lot of work on our set pieces, and we had 2 or 3 different set pieces that worked, and we're unlucky. So positives on the attacking front, but quite a few negatives on the defending side of it today.
In terms of that defensively, where Boothie touched upon it, obviously Boothie is kind of questioned whether Ryan should have done a little bit better. I was actually going to pose that as a thought. There was obviously a lot of men around Ryan for that first goal. He kind of got something on it, but not a lot. Do you think in that area, or that instinct, he just had to kind of muscle the players out of it, just try and get that extra kind of inch taller?
Difficult. Like I said, it's decent head back time when I kind of got. It was obviously a well organised set piece from Barnsley with the aim to it Baxton. I just think sometimes situations, if you can't get across someone, whether it's the defender, to get one of our defenders helps Ryan out and just gets a bit of a block on. Difficult, You're always disappointed when you get, when you concede from set pieces, when you're not being carved open, because they definitely didn't do that. So they'll be frustrated, and they'll be frustrated with both goals, I'm sure. But I'm sure that they'll be looking to put that right come the Blackburn game.
And I suppose from that instance where Ryan and Rams and some of the older players in the team as well will be able to learn from those, and they'll go through it, they'll analyse it, and then hopefully we won't succumb to the same problems again.
Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. Both Rams and Ryan both had excellent games, and
Absolutely.
You know, I wouldn't put them down to individual errors, but by any means. I think it's just another learning curve for all the squad, and you know, credit to Barnsley in terms of that was their style, that was their tactic, that was their big strength. You know, and they kept going. You know, with a lot of spirit, putting balls into the box and being aggressive with it throughout the game and right to the 90th minute. And unfortunately for us, they managed just to get that flick, that crucial flick on at the near post that, you know, that allows them to get on the end of for the winner, which is, you know, obviously very, very disappointing.
Yeah. It's been a little while now, Boothie, since we've won away from home. It's been almost 2 months. You watch us obviously regularly, being from Huddersfield, being a fan, obviously working for us as well. Why do you think that is? What's been missing away from home?
Not much, to be honest, Adam. I don't think. I think we've been playing well. We've been creating chances as well, and I couldn't tell you, to be honest, Adam. It's a difficult one. It is because we're playing well at home, and I say we're playing very similar away from home. So all the games have been so tight. Yeah, there's been a couple of games. Forget about the Bournemouth game. We'll write that off. But even the Birmingham game where we lost 3-0, or we lost 3-0, but there were only 3 mistakes, and there were nothing in it. So there's been nothing in it. So today would have been happy. We'd have come home with a point. So it's just them little incidents there where we lose his marker and we're a loss of concentration. And like Werner says, we're a young side at the back there. We've got Christian, obviously Richard Stearman out, and Romani's come in and ever so well. Ryan has as well. Like, so you're going to get them, but no, there's nothing much wrong. And it doesn't. Yeah, we're disappointed today, but especially with his own form where we've been winning games. Away 3 points are bonuses. So as long as we keep winning them games, we're not doing far much wrong away from home, but just a little bit of rubber the green, and sometimes a little bit of lack of concentration that's costing us. But there's not much wrong, to be honest. And it, again, all it takes a little bit of luck, and it can change that, Bjorn.
Absolutely. And Worthy, obviously, we have to talk about Rams. Obviously, his first goal for Huddersfield Town, a really special moment for him.
Yeah, he'll be delighted with that, and it's great to see him get a run in the team. He's a great lad, a great character, and I say character. There's characters few and far between in the game, in my opinion, and he's one who is a good character, which as a young lad is great to see. So those are the ones you want to get opportunity, and you know, be delighted with his goal. But I think his consistency and level of performance leading into this game, you know, been excellent.
How closely do you monitor him and look at his progress? Because obviously you've watched him develop at the club and come into this first team and really make his mark at the moment in time.
Yeah, well, it's just really to say. Romani came in at 16 years old, probably, when he came in. To see his progress is. I think the Brighouse loan was a great loan for him in terms of understanding his football and adapting to that style. He obviously had a really successful loan last year at Swindon on the back of that, and I think he's one that we've been hoping. You can never guarantee when they get the opportunity that young players take it, but he's one that has done that, in my opinion, and just hopefully he can continue that and continue to show those high levels that he's given already.
Yeah, and talking about that set piece, Boothie, you mentioned it earlier, but it was really well worked, wasn't it? And we had to be a little bit clever around them, because everyone knows that Barnsley at the back in particular are a very big, strong physical presence.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and it's good to see it. And when you know, you've obviously they've worked on it these last couple of weeks, and when you see it come into it and it works, it gives, as a coach and as a manager, it gives you so much pleasure, and they deserve praise, because it's not easy to think of different set pieces, and they had to, as you said, they had to get round the Barnsley defence. Obviously, they were big lads, so if you put it in the mixer, we're not going to win many of them. So I thought it was clever. Obviously, I thought Tofson, Carolighton did brilliantly to work the space. Great ball in, and obviously, as Werther said, a good finish for Romani stayed up there and managed to get his foot on the end of it. But there were 2 or 3 more as well. There were one, I think, Mbenza put it down for Bakuna, who then got a free, obviously deeper free kick, where usually you'd expect Mbenza to put it in the box, where he slipped it down the wide. Good run for Bakuna, great ball in, and obviously just went above the 2 or 3 lads, which ended up in the back of the net. So they tried different ones, and again, a bit of luck, a bit lower there. That could have gone in. So we weren't far off. We had a couple of chances in the first half as well. The one down there, I think Lewis O'Brien did brilliant down the left wing. Fantastic ball, and Fraser would just inch off, slide it to chuck it into an open net, and then Fraser will put through again, and he'll probably look back and thinking, could I chip the goalkeeper? It's always easier when especially when it's at home. You also understand, you can think of different things. And as a striker, the first thing you do is usually the first thing you think of is usually the correct thing. And he just tried to obviously slot it past him, and probably looking back, he had more time, and he could have just little dink, which is easier said than done. But so yeah, great set pieces. We had a plan, and they worked, and that's why Carlos will probably be disappointed. It was just that last second. I know we go back to it, but you take a couple of them in the first half, you go into a goal up, it's a completely different game again.
I suppose in a game like this, it was always going to be down to those fine margins, wasn't it? Because it was a real scrappy affair. Both teams seemed to cancel each other out for the majority of the game. It was just those really, really fine details that ultimately decided the result.
Yeah, you're right, Adam, because obviously both teams have the same amount of points, same goal difference and that, so there's not a lot between them, and that's exactly what it was like this afternoon. And you know what though? I'm not there, but you could hear it on the speakers. Obviously, it sounded horrendous with the wind. It sounds the wind
you can tell by my hair as well. It's all over the shop.
I wasn't going to say that, Adam. I just forgot your brushes today, but like everybody knows, when you play football, there's no worse conditions than blustery conditions. We don't mind rain, snow, sun. But when it's windy, it does spoil it. But I thought that both teams really had a decent game. The pitch didn't look great either, but there were no excuses. But I thought it was a good game to watch, and as I say, there was nothing between the two teams, absolute nothing, apart from the crucial 2 things at the end of the game.
Yeah, Worthy, we always talk about goals that you concede, and you analyse everything from the midfielders, the defenders, the goalkeeper. We spoke a little bit about Ryan, but like you alluded to earlier, he made some really good saves, didn't he? And he's really progressed, and now he's got this number 1 starting shirt at the moment. He hasn't really looked back, has he?
Well, I think he's a player who's kind of been waiting in the wings. Someone who's obviously highly rated. Progressed really well under Paul Clement, and I think there's always been that belief that Ryan would step into that into that GK slot really, and he's taken. Ben Hamer's done well, but Ryan's taken his chance when it's come, and to be fair to him, he looks calm and composed. I've always seen it over the years. What Ryan does, he makes big saves. He's a shot stopper in essence, and he can tend to make the difference between the winning and losing games, as daft as it sounds, because he does make saves that other goalkeepers don't, basically. And again, he's like I said, I think he's shown his composure in the performances that he's had, and it's just about hitting continuing that consistency, really.
Yeah, consistency is the kind of key word there, and in the Championship with all players, but teams as well, Boothie. If you can get some kind of consistency, especially over the kind of next week or so, obviously Blackburn and Reading both at home and in the next week, if you can put some results together, then your season changes a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And you say the Christmas period when games do come thick and fast, if you can pull some results together, we can be up there. So that's why today is disappointing. It'd be nice to take a point into the next 2 home games, but we've got to go in positive. You get something from both games, and we'll be in a good position for obviously the second half of the season. We've got to make the most of these home games. But again, the lads they'll be picked up. Today's gone. I know we're all disappointed, but we've got to forget about that now and look forward. And it is, I'm sure they'll need a little bit of rest. You look at, this is where your squad comes in. Obviously, we've got 2 or 3 players out, which is obviously a negative for the team. But maybe it'll give a few lads on the bench a chance as well, because he's going to have to rotate just to give him a little bit of a break. You can't be playing 3 games in 6 days, whatever it is, with the same 11. So he's gonna see a few changes, and it'll give them players a chance to stake a claim in the first team.
Yeah, that's the key thing, isn't it? Where they're trying to come together as a group, get over the disappointment of this defeat, and then continue our fantastic home run.
Yeah, I think so. But I think, like we touched on, I think it's, we touched on the away form, and but in the Championship, I think, picking up away wins is no mean feat. Very difficult, and so if you can get that consistency with your home form and chip away with any points away from home, then it puts you in a good position in the league, I think. And like you said, I think it's consistency with the home games, opportunity if the manager decides to bring in anybody in the next couple of games, just to freshen it up a little bit. And that's what it's about. It's opportunity for other players that people have got to take and grasp it if that comes. But the home form's been good off the back of the last few games. We look strong at home, and hopefully we can continue that.
And just finally, Worthy, there's been a load of younger players, B-team players in and around the squad over the last kind of 3-4 weeks. You must be delighted that so many are getting the exposure. I'm thinking, obviously, Kian was in the squad again today. Pat Jones was in it last weekend as well. And we've seen, obviously, Brahima Diarra make his first team debut. For you, monitoring and working closely with those guys, you can tell us how valuable the experience is for them to be involved in the match day scenario and in the match day squad.
Yeah, I think it's massive for the players, for their experience, for their development. Like I said, opportunity is fantastic. The manager's been great in terms of allowing players to gain that opportunity and having some trust in some of the boys. And I think when you're an academy player and you can see a pathway, you can see a little bit of light, and then I think that really helps with what we're doing day to day on the training ground. But also we've got some very good players, in my opinion. Some very good players waiting in the wings, and hopefully, it'll just be the start of others getting more and more opportunity when it comes.
With that pathway, Boothie, obviously Carlos Corberán on Christmas Eve signed his new contract with the club, and obviously his coaching staff as well, Jorge, Narcis and Danny Schofield. It's really good, isn't it, that they've signed those deals, focusing on the long-term future of this football.
Yeah, definitely. I say great news just before Christmas. To pledges obviously for the next 4 years is a massive thing, and the club's done well to hold him down, because this year you can see what he's done in a short space of time, only in like 4 or 5 months. You can see the difference from the beginning of the season. So give him a full season, wherever we end up this season. We're looking forward to next season, because it's going to be, you hope, but you feel there's something good happening at the club. So for Carlos to be here for 4 years, then, and even if somebody comes and and wants him. It's obviously he's doing the right things. It's a positive for us. But no, we've got a lot to look forward to, and I think this is the start. Yeah, we're disappointed today, but this is the start of where we can go. And the next 4 to 5 months towards the end of the season, and then next season, push on again, bring some new players in as well, strengthen the squad, and you can only see us going one way. Yep, we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this season, but you know next season there's going to be definitely pushing on. And Carlos will want it. He wants to succeed. It's his first managerial job. He wants to do the best he can, and he's obviously shown his intent. He wants to do it with Huddersfield Town, so it's great news. And obviously his coaching staff are right behind him as well. So all positive. And yeah, we're disappointed today, but there's a lot to look forward to. And let's start at Blackburn and push on, as you say, 2 home games, rest of the season. Under Carlos, we can only get better and stronger. And the fans come back in as well. Poor Carlos has not seen any of the fans in the stadium yet. They've not really welcomed him. So you get 20,000 back in the stadium. The football that he's playing, it's all going to be positive, and it'll only have a good effect on the team. It must, and I've said it before, it's hard enough playing with no fans, but they're playing some good stuff. They're playing some entertaining football. So get the fans back in, which always gives you a 10-15% lift anyway, and a real buzz. You don't know where we can go, but he's showed his intent within 4 years, so it really is positive news.
Like you said, it's disappointing today, but there's a lot to look forward to in the future. Boothie, Worthy, thank you very much for giving up your time on Boxing Day to come on and help us analyse the game. Town fans, thank you for watching.